Good evening and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not currently a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes, maybe global emotes, or you can just be a lurker and not say anything at all, and that's also okay. I know that Queen Laura was here before the stream even really kicked off. Welcome, Laura. Lashberg is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome, welcome. Also, as kind of alluded to there in the chat, it's my birthday. I am 42 years old. Aristofan's here. Welcome, Aristofan. Which is a thing. This is the third year in a row where I have streamed on my actual birthday. I think 4 years ago, I was streaming, but not streaming on Mondays and didn't stream on my birthday. I think I streamed a couple days beforehand. So this is the third year in a row that I've streamed on my actual B-Day. Tony, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm 42. And you're saying, Pat, you don't look like a day over 40, and I appreciate that because time is basically frozen. I look at photos. My mother, my loving mother, thank you, Lashbrook, posted a photo on Facebook of me on my 30th birthday, and there's no gray in any of this, and I had lost a bunch of weight around 28, 29, 30. I was at my lowest weight I've been in a very long time. I will put that weight all back on. Don't worry about it. And just like had a hair because I wasn't shaving my head at the time. Oh, that's a different Pat Bear. I've talked about this a little bit briefly, that because I turned 40 at the beginning of quarantine, just a full month, 2 months into quarantine, I don't consider this part of my 40s. Like, I'm 42, but my 40s start when I leave this house in South Carolina. Because I arrived here shortly after my 40th birthday. It's almost been 2 years. So to me, when I get out of here, that's when my 40s really start. And this is just the, COVID years. The coronavirus years, I guess. I've never had COVID. In describing it, my 40th birthday, I've talked about it. It was lonely. My 40th birthday was incredibly lonely. June 23rd, as you can guess, 1980, I was born. So in the year 2020, turned 40. I was in Brooklyn, New York, in my apartment. My roommate had moved out a month beforehand in May. And I was planning on moving. I had started packing things up, selling some things, giving things away, and I was going to move some things into storage because I was leaving July 5th. But I was actually leaving that apartment July 1st. I was going to go to an Airbnb, and then on the 5th fly to South Carolina, where I am now. And so I didn't have a lot of stuff. I was actually working out of my former roommate's bedroom, because I had cleaned that up because he had left a bunch of shit there, like his fucking bed that had shelves underneath it, full of change. I made about $5 in quarters out of him leaving some stuff. Happy Dave Cake. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I was working out of there. I had my computer set up in that room, and there was nothing on the walls. It was just a bare room. It was just my computer set up, and then I was still sleeping in my my bedroom. So I just had the computer in there, and then some model kits that I was going to build soon. And it was I played Jackbox, and I had some friends call in on Discord and play with me, and that was a very fun birthday. But that was also a very depressing birthday because I was alone. I did not talk to a person face to face that whole day. Last year was 41st birthday, was here with my folks. This year we had dinner. We're going to go out tomorrow, which is great because then I didn't have to worry about getting back here in time. We're going to get Mexican, sit outside tomorrow night, and that'll be good. Go to a place I like. They like as well. Very good chips and salsa there. Very, very good chips and salsa. And then I'll get a steak quesadilla that's tasty. cheesy, very cheesy. That'll be tomorrow night though. Today, got well wishes from people, worked on some stuff, watched some anime, gonna model kit build tonight. And so it was a good start to my 42nd year, I would say. I became a mod of a Discord that I won't say which one it is, but you might see me do some mod actions there if you're in it. One of two Discords that I mod in, aside from my own. So that was fun. Got asked to do that, and I appreciate somebody thinking of me there. Who I may collaborate in the future. We'll see. I'm going to reply to my tweet, and I think let's model kit. Let's model kit build. We were working on the Kenbu on Monday. We were working on the Kenbu, and we are going to get back to that. But because it's my birthday, and because this is my world and my stream, I'm working on a Kirby kit. Also, if I put this up, this thing's going to take like an hour at most. It's an entry grade kit. There's very little, there's 2 stickers. There are going to be very little marker work needed on this. Probably put a little bit on the star stand. Lord Crashes in, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream as always. So yeah, so we're going to build, we're gonna build this Kirby kit, and I think pretty soon. Hey, the Goof Cat just raided with a party of 6. Welcome, raiders. We just are about to start actually building this model kit. So if you don't know, well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. For folks that are coming in on the raid. Lord Crashton wants me to hit the ska button, and I will. Thank you for using your channel points for the very important thing, which is me playing this. And thank you, Cloud Kingdom, for the follow. Birthday, Scott, indeed. We pulled out the wrong piece there, so I'm going to, B2, 3. That's right. Yeah, this is the right piece. Okay, great. So, we're working on Kirby. Now, this is an entry grade. And if you were unaware what an entry grade means, don't worry about it. I will explain it very quickly. Entry grade is just a explanation of the difficulty involved with the kit. It's new. Only a couple years old did they add the entry grade in as we know it here. But basically, it's the easiest kind of kit you can build. No tools are required. I will be snapping all of these out of their sprues by hand. I will be using probably my X-Acto knife to apply the stickers, because why not? But the actual construction of this kit, no paint required, no glue required, no markers required, although we might do some marker work because it's fancy, and we can. But this should just be a very simple kit to put together. And you'll start to see here a little bit of some treats going on with this kit as we build it. Basically, right now, we're building the eyes. You can see we're putting together the eyes that eventually are Kirby's eyes. But one of the things we're doing is we're putting in a bunch of fun extras that are just nobody would know. We know because you're watching me build this. But if I just put this on display and someone walked by and was like, "Oh, it's Kirby," they wouldn't know that that there were some cool added things to this kit. I'm just going to put my instructions right there so I can kind of see. But basically, we are layering in all of the eyes. And instead of it just being a couple of things, they decided to put in a few Easter eggs. And the Easter eggs we're building on these eyes is basically a bunch of... oh no, you can see Kirby's inside. Yes, well here's the thing, right? What's inside Kirby? Well, often the thing inside Kirby is a bunch of objects and people. But in this instance, the thing that is inside Kirby is a whole lot of items from the Kirby games, as you can see here. So these are the various items here. Got a lollipop, got the big tomato, got an apple. Right over there. Well, that's onigiri. um, and some candy. And so these are objects in the world that make up the mouth and eyes of Kirby, which is very silly and unnecessary. But I appreciate it because it's silly and unnecessary. When I said this was going to take an hour, I lied. This is not going to take long at all to build. But we can do some sprucing up. And then we'll go back to the Kenbu. But basically, right, Atomic Fox? Basically, I just wanted to build a fun Kirby kit because it wouldn't take too long to build. And I like doing some silly builds for my birthday streams. If I have my streams around my birthday. So, there we go. Wait, we got to line this up right. We did not line this up right. Yes. Yes, that's right. Okay, great. So, we're eventually going to put stickers here over this red. We could leave it as is, but we are going to apply the stickers because I think they'll look good to the little pink stickers that we'll put there. But right now, we've got the face done. Tony the Swordsman. I have watched some of the Kirby cartoon. I don't say I've watched a lot of the Kirby cartoon, but I'm certainly familiar-ish with it. I'm very happy that these are all plastic, and this is not stickers. Entry grade kits are not all equal. The entry grade Gundams are great. They are the perfect starting point if you want to get into working on Gundam model kits, the Gunpla. They are absolute perfection. There are a bunch of different entry grades for a bunch of different series, and those, depending on the series, some of them require a whole lot of stickers, and I think too many stickers for what is supposed to be entry grade or your starter. That's just my opinion on it. That they're just not basic enough. But this one seems to be pretty straightforward. The Pac-Man, also very easy, as you might imagine. But then if you get into Conan from Detective Conan, or if you're doing Deku from My Hero Academia, those kits required stickers and were much more involved. There's a Demon Slayer one that's much more involved, lots of stickers. It was actually I would describe it as being kind of difficult to do. So this one's fairly easy. Also, I have a fun fact that I learned this not too long ago, and I wanted to share it with you because I mentioned Conan from Detective Conan, also known as Case Closed. And maybe you're not familiar with that anime, but at least you've heard of it. It's a long-running anime. Guy gets exposed to some gas and de-ages, and he's in a child body with his regular brain, and he has to solve mysteries and basically stumble in. He solves them, but makes it seem like a bumbling detective actually solved them. It's a long-running show. There's lots of movies. Detective Conan. Anyway, the voice actress for Detective Conan is also the singer for Two Mix. So the voice actress for Detective Conan also sang all of the Gundam Wing songs. She sang Just Communication and White Reflection and Revelation and at least one other one. And that's bonkers to me that somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm a voice actress, but also I sang a bunch of cool music for Gundam Wing. The range, indeed. The range is incredible. All right, so how does this attach? The star goes into this. Why is this not... Why am I messing up how this... There we go. Okay. I mean, the position of Kirby here, because Kirby is going to be sitting on a cloud, he's just awkward. Because the leg is here, and then the leg is here, and you're and the arms are here, and you're what's going on with you, Kirby? What do you like? What's going on here? But anyway, we got that done. Now it's literally we're just gonna put together the star and then see if we want to do any panel lining because, hey, guess what? You know, this kit's almost done. Very straightforward kit. But if you like never built a model kit before, this is something you could do, and then you'd be like, oh, cool, nailed it. Yeah. So anyway, point. But this is a kit that you feel like they even put there's okay, so yeah, there's like a star on the inside here, and then there's a star on the inside here to let you know that this is how you connect them, because you want to have the stars line up with the stars, which is very fucking helpful. I did want to say, I didn't mention at the beginning, we're currently at 45 out of 50 subscribers. You can see over here. The goal is to hit 50. That's always the goal. If you would like to become a subscriber to the old Build With Baer, that would be cool. Or gift a sub to someone in the community. You know, if that's something you wanted to do. You certainly don't have to do that stuff, but if you'd like to, you could. Oh, yeah, there we go. And we'll put that in there. And then there's Kirby. And that's Kirby. Y'all, that's a Kirby. Very simple to put together. I'm gonna look at this and see if I want to do any panel lining. I don't think I do. I might want to see how it looks on the underside here to see if I want to do black on this. So I'll do the underside of this here. I'm just going to do this right here and see if this is something I want to do. And then we'll just hit the eraser. I don't think so. No. No. We're not going to panel line this. Now that I look at that, it doesn't add really anything to it. So I don't think we're going to. This kit does not need panel lining. I mean, there's very few spots for it. But yeah, anyway, trying to hit 50 subscribers. You want to gift a sub to some of the community. You want to subscribe yourself using your Prime Gaming token or just cash money. You could do that. But that's a Kirby. A very easy kit for someone like me who's been doing model kit building for many, many years. I had fun with this one, but this one certainly wasn't a challenge, but it is very cute. Yeah, I agree. Queen, I could do like here, I could panel line around this spot here. We didn't do the stickers. I do want to see if we want to do the stickers to make the cheeks more pink than red, and I do think we want to do that. So we have that left to do. But yeah, I could do it like here, and I could do a little bit around the circles here for the arms, but I don't think it needs it. I think that's a different kind of cartoon aesthetic, but I am going to look at, yes, I think I want to make the cheeks pinkish, more pink. It's not the same as the plastic, and it will stand out, which I actually think is a good call, or a good thing. So let's go and see the step where we were put stickers on here, right there. Stickers to the cheeks. I waited until this was built. It did have it as a step before I did a lot for this kit, but I wanted to wait until the end just because I wanted to see how it looked like fully completed before I got in there. I like using an X-Acto blade to peel stickers. Some people use a toothpick, or they'll use a spudger. I just like X-Acto blades for this purpose. And then we'll just try to press down, pull that out there. Also, people use tweezers, certainly. And if I'm using water slide decals, I'll certainly use tweezers. But for this, that's good. Yeah, so you can see the difference between the two here. This is a more, this pink, this red is just too similar to the mouth here. And I think this is good because it's shiny. And so you can see that the cheeks are there, but it's not blended. It's not the same color as the rest of it. So I think that's the way to go. And also, these are not difficult stickers. And if I can do a model kit with stickers that are not difficult to use, you better believe I'm going to do that. All right, so we'll put that on there. Just line this up right here. And all right, so I talked about, the past couple of years theory, how for me anyway, 40 until whenever I leave this place, I'm not considering part of my 40s. I will consider that when I'm, somewhere else. I'll be like, okay, now Now I'm in my 40s. All right, so that's done. We took, all of this, and we made Kirby. There's Kirby. Hey, it's fucking Kirby. We made a goddamn cute little Kirby. We'll turn it on that way so you can really see how cute this Kirby is. And this is just, this is a desk friend. It might end up back here with some of my other model kits on the portable display. That is my bed, and I do, before every stream, decorate it like that, just so that I have some kind of background. These are all boxes. They're empty boxes. They're not model kits in there that I've stacked up just to have some kind of background that wasn't just my bed frame. And a photo frame that I put the box for the Ultimate Gohan in. Yeah, it's Gohan model kit box that I turned into a picture frame art. But yeah, there's Kirby. It's Kirby. I gotta take a photo of this Kirby. I'm gonna do that. Get a good photo there, and then we'll go back to the Kenbu. We'll build a Kenbu. I gotta get. Let's see here, nice and bright. Kirby photo. There's Kirby. Great. Kirby's done. We got our table friend now. Just put Kirby like here, hanging out, watching us build. We'll just do that. There. That's perfect. I will most likely not bump that too much, I don't think. But there's Kirby. Kirby's going to watch us work for the rest of the stream. And then we can get rid of Kirby here and replace Kirby with the Kenbu. We're going to go from our nice round friend until back to a model kit that's all goddamn angles. This thing is all sharp angles. Supervisor Kirby, indeed. As you can see, this model kit, we started with the feet and worked our way up, which is some real grade nonsense. Usually you don't find that in a high grade. This is from on the border or whatever. It's the new Sunrise Bandai show that I didn't watch because it was a very busy anime season, and then some people I know that I respect their opinions on were like, no. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to skip it then. But yeah, I heard not great things. But the kits look neat, and they are not super expensive. So, we'll just have Kirby here. Keep an eye on the booklet for us as we put this together. Thanks, Kirby. Thanks for supervising. But yeah, so I didn't get into that. Let's see. Video game shit. We can talk about some video game stuff. First and foremost, a public service. Reminder, if you have Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon linked with your Twitch account, your Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch account, you get a Twitch Prime. Of course, use that token for somebody. You're not saying it has to be me, but use it for somebody. But the other thing, the probably actually bigger thing to say is, hey, check in there. Click on your what do you call it? Check on your notifications. Not your notifications. What am I saying? What's the thing that comes down? I'm going to look at my actual Twitch page and see the name that I need to say here. Whatever it is. Oh, the Prime Loot. That's what it's called. Click on your Prime Loot and see if there's some shit in there that appeals to you. If there's giveaways, if there's in-game content for games you play. Like, for instance, Prime Loot was what I was looking for, yes. For instance, if you, like me, still play Hearthstone, because you gotta find the joys you can in this world, and sometimes those joys are video games that make you feel bad for playing them. But yeah, if you're like still playing like me, you get a free this month. It went there. You can get a free legendary, so random legendary. So like that's good. So yeah, check that out. There's Pokemon Go shit you can get in there. It's all like pretty low level stuff for Pokemon Go. Like it's just like nobody needs regular potions at this point. Come on. What are we talking about here? Whatever. But like still nice to get some stuff. So check and look for that. Because sometimes it's like games and you're just like, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever play this game, but it's free, so sure. It's like, I don't have the Twitch game loader installed, but whatever. I'll see what they got for me. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. Put this in here. This looks like this. And then this loads in like that. I think I've put this together correctly. We'll find out if I fucked up or not. But yeah, I'm still playing Hearthstone. I got a deck right now. It's a Paladin deck that does some nonsense that I think is good. I think it's some silly nonsense that I like. That it cheats out big minions. And it seems to work well against the big minion shaman deck that I used to play a lot of, but now everyone in Wild is playing it, so I want to stop playing that deck. But it's very fun because they will sometimes cheat out my minions, thinking they're the only one with the big minion, and they're like, nope, I got these big minions here that are different from yours. And also, I got the hero card that makes it so I take less damage from you, and that's very good. People get very frustrated by that card, so I'll play that. I don't want to frustrate people who are also playing silly decks, but I do want to frustrate people that are playing nonsense scam decks by beating them with scam decks. That's basically what I'm doing right now. Anyway, let's see. Last night I played Jackbox Party Pack 8 with chat, and that was very fun. We did Drawful Animate, which I am terrible at, but it felt like it was the vibe was good. We had a great turnout for that stream. Is this B5? Did I take the wrong piece out here? Nope, that's the right piece. Okay, so how does this clip in? B5. Does it go like this? No, that looks like... Sorry, the instructions here of how this piece actually fits in are frustrating me right now. So I'm just going to take a second to try to figure out. Is that how it looks? So it goes like this? Yeah, okay, so it goes in like this. All right, great. Again, I am not super familiar with this model kit, so my apologies if I ever pause to like wonder what I'm looking at. Hey, Xandra saying, hi Pat, happy birthday. Happy birthday? What are you to say? Thank you very much, Xandra. Appreciate that. If you're currently a subscriber to the old Build With Baer, throw in the emotes in the chat right now because Xandra is the artist that made all of my emotes. Every single one of them was made by Xandra, including the newest one that debuted this month, the blue, the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Pat. Which is very, very cool. And in my chat, you know that Xandra is an artist that made my emotes because they have the cool icon for her, which is very fun. But yeah, also, I went back to Teardown, a game I did not think I would go back to. I really did not expect that I would spend any more time in Teardown, but I'm having fun. I'm playing the actual game. Previously, I was just messing around with the mods, but now I'm like trying to actually play the game properly, and I'm not great at it, but I'm having fun with it. Also, there's a mod to try to make the physics actual, like, quote unquote real. Like if you knock down part of a foundation for a house, it'll tip over instead of just being held up until you break the chimney in the corner. I messed around with that, and my computer did not enjoy that mod. I can understand why the physics are the way they are to make things make any sense in that game. But yeah, I've been having some fun with Teardown. What are y'all playing right now? I'd love to hear from you. If you're playing any video games, any video games, is there anything that's hitting you, playing tabletop stuff with your roommates or online or whatever, or, like, let me know. My D&D group, my main group, is on a limited hiatus right now. Two of our members are on a tight deadline, and so we are taking a break to allow them to conclude their deadlines and get into a place where they don't feel bad for having free time. So that's fun. My one-off group, the one-shot group that I'm in, I am playing Saturday afternoon. My one-shot crew, I will be GMing a Lasers and Feelings one-shot with them. And I'm very excited about that. Playing Blue Dragon. It's a chill JRPG I played before bed. Hell yeah, Tony. I know Blue Dragon. That is chill. I started playing in other waters. You play as an AI in a dive suit guiding someone around the bottom of an alien sea. Cloud Kingdom. That sounds cool. That sounds pretty neat. I do like playing AI. That sounds pretty damn cool. For those that might be wondering about my one-shots, I've talked about this on stream before, but I'll just say, I belong in a large collective. I believe we are 26 members right now in a Discord. And the idea is it's a bunch of people that can GM a bunch of different games and a bunch of players who don't have, either they don't have a regular D&D group or they don't have a regular, adventuring group, TTRPG group. They're lacking a regular group. They're a part of this collective, and then you can just try to schedule. You can try to schedule a GM and some players. And the idea that is a adventuring. The story is that it is an adventuring guild, kind of like Fairy Tail, the anime Fairy Tail, or kind of like the cartoon Mask, where at the beginning of each adventure, they just choose the right people that just happen to all be there. Or if you want to say that it's like, who's in the guild right now? Because we have a mission. We need a party to go out on this mission. And it is a way to get some one-off play. And you can keep the same character, you can abandon the character, and you can play different styles with your sheets that are based on D&D, but have a lot of storytelling elements. So you can do Lasers and Feelings, so you can do Fiasco. You can play with different play styles. It is a way for some people who do not have the time for a long campaign to play some adventuring style RPGs, and for some storytellers, and for someone like me who does not want to GM a D&D campaign but does love GMing. I can get my improv on with some Fiasco. And I am learning Lasers and Feelings, which is not difficult, really, but it's not something I have a lot of familiarity with, so it's been fun to kind of play around with that. It is a really good time, and then you can just make up adventures your characters went on in between. I have relationships. Or my character has relationships with some people, and then sometimes there are strangers that come in, and then my character interacts with them, and it's fun. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Let's see. Queen has been playing the original Final Fantasy VII literally right now. Also, me and my roommates are about to start playing the Vampire the Masquerade TTRPG. Hell yeah! I can't go back to Vampire, but I had a lot of good times in Vampire. I just don't think that I can. I just don't think I have it in me to go back to that world. But, as I said, a lot of good memories in that world. I don't know if I'm prepared to ever return. Let's see. Been playing a fair bit of Neon White, says Lashbrook. Fancy wrist rest gets in because I might have given carpal tunnel my keyboard hand. Lashbrook, yeah, carpal tunnel's no joke, my friend. So please take care of yourself. Look after yourself. Make sure that you are not a statistic on that. Because again, carpal tunnel, no joke, no fun. Tony's going to try Neon White. Aristophan playing Neon White. Somium Files, a mystery visual novel with some puzzle solving. Since its voice and dialogue automatically advances, I can play it while building Lego. Ooh, I like that. I like that idea. Get some gaming in and also some Lego in. Now, why is this not doing what I want to do, which is connecting? I'm looking here. This is a Bandai kit. Why is this feeling difficult for me to accomplish? That's not what I think of when I think of Bandai, which is a kit that I'm wait, why can't I build this? Why can't I do this? What's going on here? Why am I running into issues here? So look at this here. You're working on your debt, Heart Space Shipbreaker. Okay. 1.1 billion. Yeah, that game seems to have a lot of debt built in. Okay, so this got to go through the back hole of that, and it's the skinny side on top, right? Or is it this side, or is that side? Goes in there, and that goes into that. Okay, so this goes in here. Nope, not like that. Did I miss a step? Did I miss anything with this? Is there something I didn't do that I was supposed to do? No, this looks right. Because sometimes okay, here we go. I figured it out. I don't know why, but that took a long time to feel like I did it right. And that's always weird with a model kit. Um, it's like this corporation doesn't have my best interests in mind, right, Lord Crashington? That can't be the case. Something else has got to be up with that. Um, so I wanted to specify when I was talking about Vampire the Masquerade, and like I don't have anything wrong. I don't have any negative feelings about that the new game coming out or anything, or my history with Vampire. Just that it's my first real LARPing experience was Vampire, and I did it in high school. Um, I've mentioned before there was a bar that would close that never made any money on Mondays, and so they would close on Monday, and they would do a private events which were Vampire LARPing. So we LARPed Vampire the Masquerade in a bar, and then out in the parking lot is where we did any battles or anything like that, and it was great. And I loved my time with it, and it was very important for me as a kid that was like getting into acting, but there weren't opportunities for acting where I was. Um, it was essential and important, but also just just it. I get flushed thinking about it, and just the idea of like nobody took any photos, nobody took any video. I mean, how they would be camcorders, VHS recorders. Nobody took any video, and I'm grateful because like, fuck, I don't need that. I'm glad there's as far as I know no evidence of any of us in our time there, which is great because yikes-a-roo. Um, Oof, Vampire LARP can get real weird. Yeah, luckily it never got that weird. Now, were there couples who were LARPing as couples? Yes. Were there two people who were LARPing that started legitimately dating because their characters were dating? Yes. Were there did somebody lead to the downfall of their significant other in the game, which probably led to them breaking up in real life? Yes. It got messy because it was a lot of teens. So it got awkward in some places that it didn't need to be because this was years before session zeros, right? Like we didn't know what we were doing. Nobody had any talk about that kind of stuff. Nobody had any like, hey, these are my my lines and veils. Nobody had lines and veils. Like we didn't know what that was. Like you just did whatever, and then you got mad later. And sometimes you would talk on the BBS. You would dial into the BBS, and then you would like talk about how unhappy you were with some people or whatever and what had happened because you were like, how the you kid, but we're best friends. How could you like betray me in the game? And it'd be like, I don't know, that's what my character wanted to do. And you're like, ah. But yeah, we didn't have any of that. We didn't know about any of that stuff, and like the only real rule was if you fucking have a bad time, you just quit and you don't come back anymore, which sucks. And that's not a good way to run any kind of game. That if you're like I can't remember anyone ever using the idea that someone was sensitive, but I am sure that various people were referred to as being sensitive and not like being open to the game is definitely things that were discussed. I do not claim that. I claim that to be a very fun time, but I am sure that there were people who felt very alienated by that game because it was not run by people that were looking out for everyone's interest. They were looking to just be fucking vampires and vampires that fucked. Being a weird cringe LARP D&D Ren Fair kid is so important for your developing brain. I would not go back to that being that embarrassed in public though. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a Ren. I like Ren Fairs. I've never worked at a Ren Fair because I got into improv and sketch comedy. So that's why I was never a Renaissance fair person. I never worked at a Ren Fair. Never dressed up to just be to be an audience member at a Ren Fair. Never went down that road because I had improv. I didn't LARP as an adult. I D&D and TTRPG as an adult, but I didn't LARP as an adult because I have comedy. Back in my day, we didn't protect people. We just shit talked them online. Yeah, exactly, Aristophan. I agree. It is nice to see how far we've come. But just speaking of Vampire, the fine folks at Loading Ready Run did a Vampire the Masquerade sessions. They did a whole campaign. And they filmed their session 0, and you have Jacob Burgess talk about running through these people, some of whom are familiar with Vampire, some people who are not necessarily even that experienced with doing these kind of games. And he talks about what's your veil? What can we fuzz away from? That scene happened, but we didn't see it. And what are your lines? What are things you don't want to see? People were like, hey, I would love it if no dogs got hurt in this campaign. It's just great. No dogs are going to get hurt in this campaign. Excellent. And it's just conversing with people as they talked about their characters, talked about how, their expectations for the game. And it's just fucking cool from a perspective of someone that likes to run games and also someone that likes to play games and be around people. And with people, it's just very fun. Filming it helps normalize it. Indeed, it is nice to see those session 0s as I would love to see more of that. We don't get a lot of that in Dimension 20, and I understand because Dimension 20 is on a different scale. But I really wish Dimension 20 had session 0 stuff because the target audience for it is so much younger than as far as I can tell, right? And numbers are nobody really knows, but these are the things people can come to is there's a wide range of age that watches or listens to as a podcast anyway the Adventure Zone. That's a wide range of ages, but there's plenty of older people that watch that. Critical Hit is kind of skews older than Critical Role, I should say, not Critical Hit, Critical Role, than Dimension 20, which skews very young. And then there are other shows, a lot of stuff that Tanya DePass is part of skews all over the place because her audience is black and queer. The good majority of her audience is that. So that's going to be all over the place because it is reaching a lot of different age demographics because it feels like a place that people can go to enjoy. So everybody's kind of going in a bunch of different places. But I would love to mention 20 specifically because Brendan has such a young audience watching his that I would love for them to get more in. And he does in wrap-up videos and extras, but not everybody watches those. So I would definitely love for him to be able to get out there and talk about comfortability. Especially when they do stuff with people that are outside the normal crew. How does that feel different? You have different people coming in. Also, like G4 has been doing some stuff, and I would love for them to have some session zero things and kind of get into that because I don't know. I have no idea who the fuck watches G4 Twitch stuff. Like people watch. I think it's like people that watch Up Up Down Down and people who are nostalgic for G4, and then people that watch the other hosts on other things. But I don't know exactly. I don't have data on like who's fucking psyched about the G4. Like I'm not sure right now, but I do know that people that are watching them do TTRPGs are new to it. It seems very much from surveys and stuff that they have done. It seems very clear that their audience is new to that form of entertainment. So it would be great if they could, let people know about these session zeros, about these things, about just the idea that you can like talk to your GM about like, hey, we're going in a direction that really makes me uncomfortable, not my character, me as a person, and like I'm feeling, and letting somebody know about your feelings, how you're, how you're doing with it. I think that's incredibly important to make people feel welcome. So I would love to see more of that as more and more as it becomes a thing that people think they can turn a profit on, because they got to figure that out because other people have. So as I start going into it, I'd like to see more and more of that. But then again, shout outs to Loading Ready Run for including their session zero. That's fucking gratifying and great. All right, let's put these stickers on here. We've got some stickers here on our Kenbu. I'll try to say Kenbu normally, but when I say Kenbu, if you've heard me say like Kenbu, like I'm saying it kind of like Keith and Eugene say Try Boo, which is just a clip from the Try Guys that I really like. It's them trying to say Try Guys play Taboo, and so they call it Try Boo, and they're just like Try Boo, and that just lives rent free in my head. So sometimes when I say Kenbu, I'm saying Kenbu, and I don't mean to, because this is not a reference that you get statistically. Statistically, you are not a girl in their late 20s, statistically, or early 30s, statistically. You are not someone who watched a lot of BuzzFeed and fell in love with the Try Guys and then followed the Try Guys when they started doing their own thing. Statistically, you are not. And are there other people that like the Try Guys? Yes. I'm a 42-year-old, cis man that enjoys the Try Guys. So it's not just young ladies who then grew up with these guys. But it's mostly that. Is mostly. We're going to panel line this before we start adding even more parts in here. Let's just get some of this panel lines. I forgot. Sorry, everybody. Markers. We'll use the gray for the white, and we'll use brown for the black or for the red. So let's put some markers on here. But yeah, statistically, you're not big Try Guys fans, although you'd like some of it. I don't know if you'd like all of it. I would say, if you are watching my videos, then you will not know why you like Keith Haversberger. Why did I say Ken? You will not quite understand why you like Keith Haversberger until you've watched enough of him and you go, oh, this is a Chicago improviser that just is like an entertainer. This is a YouTuber that is like that entertains people. This guy has a musical comedy group. Okay, I get Keith right now. I understand why I'm vibing with Keith. I get this now. It takes a little while. But Keith Aversberger is probably most well known for being the guy that does. He eats the menu. He will get one of everything from a menu of a fast food or other restaurant and then eat all of it. And I would love him to stop, but I also understand because it's their biggest numbers are him eating things. It's real big numbers. He just takes a bite. And he has guests come on to also eat stuff. But yeah. I mean, I do generally like all the guys on there, but I think I think Keith reminds me of a lot of people I know. And that's why I am drawn to him more than the other gentlemen in the crew and their friends. Cloud King says, his Taco Bell haunts me and also made me realize that, yeah, the entire menu does taste the same. Yeah, a couple of his videos, the Jack in the Box is difficult to watch because he puts the Jack in the Box head on and is kind of losing his mind at one point. So that one's tough. The longer a video is, the more I feel for him as it goes because he starts getting like meat sweats and he starts like really feeling bad. I mean, and there's some where he's just like rediscovering how much he loves the place. Like, which one is the, I don't know. There are a few where he's just like Arby's. Arby's is one where he's just like, Arby's. Like, he's just like excited and happy that he was there. And that one is fun. Panda Express is a perfect example. Like he's like, there's one thing he doesn't like on the entire menu at Panda Express, and a couple things that he's never tried before that he's just like, oh, why am I not getting this all the time? And it's like, it's pretty joyful. Anyway, it's still pretty great. And also sometimes they do videos where like they're crying or the people that they're helping, like they don't do like, we gave our friends $1,000. They'll do something like, hey, one of our employees, we're doing a makeover for them because the whole thing is that we're working with some like friends of the site who are like trying to update their image that are queer because it's Pride. And it's just like, aw, they got one of the guys who's like weird about his like legs and stuff, doesn't wear shorts to wear like nice shorts. And then his like long-term partner comes in and is just like, his long-term partner comes in and is just like, oh my God, he looks so hot. And it's just like, oh, I'm so happy for Nick. I don't know Nick, but Nick seems great. And I'm happy that Nick is having like a lovely video. Oh, sometimes it's just fucking cool as hell. You're just like, oh, that's great. And then sometimes they try some stuff that's weird, but to do weird stuff, they have to like meet weird people, and then they have to take the videos down because they're working with quacks or like charlatans or something. And their audience is just like, hey, I know you might not know this, but like this guy sucks and you made a whole video about him. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll take that down. Sorry about that. We'll be cool. Don't worry about it. Our bad. We fucked up on this one. You're right. You're right. We shouldn't have made a video about this person. Sorry. Turns out he sucks. And I appreciate that. We're going to put Kirby over here because I'm bumping into my sheet by putting Kirby in the other place. I don't know. I didn't think we were talking about Try Guys, but like, I don't know. They make some videos that I think are good and they seem okay as people and they're learning. And I like that. I do like that. I very much enjoy that those boys seem to be learning and growing, and that's nice. It's nice to see. All right, we're going to take a pause for the calls in a little bit. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, go through all that in a minute. We'll get to that. We got anime to talk about because, I don't know if you know this, but we're towards the end of the anime season, and the 3 shows that I was watching on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all had their last episodes. So I got to do my last episode roundup of those shows. Shikimori's Not a Cutie, which I've been talking about on Mondays, but is a Friday series, a Friday-Saturday series. I'll be talking about that this Saturday because Aharon-san has ended. And then Monday, Monday will still be Manga Monday, so I'm going to talk about some manga that I'm reading. But also, it'll be Missed It Monday. So Manga Monday and also Missed It Monday. And that'll be me watching a couple series until the new season starts of stuff that I missed. And I was like, oops, didn't watch that. I am going to get caught up on Typical Nobody. The Demon Lord reincarnates as a Typical Nobody because that I stopped watching that, and apparently it gets weird in a way that I'm interested in checking out. And I'm going to finally, for Monday, watch Birdie Wing, because even though I just don't think that that's a thing that I'm going to get into, I do know that people that I respect a lot are like, no, Pat, you got to try this out. This shit's good. So I am going to give it a go. Even though I don't have like, because sometimes, you know, people are like, this is the best show and this is a show you should be watching. And it's just like, it didn't work for me. So, but I am going to try it. I'm going to give it like 2 episodes a go of Birdie Wing and see if it like hits me. Because I do know that a lot of people really like it. And it is some people's favorite show this season. Queen says, that reminds me, I need to catch back up on One Piece again. Hell yeah. Well, I mean, Wano is one of the, like a sad arc, and it takes a long time to get up. But we are in good One Piece anime right now. This is some good shit happening in One Piece. But yeah, Birdie Wing is one I want to check out. Typical Nobody I had dropped and I want to catch up on again. There's probably a couple other. I guess I should probably finish Executioner and Her Way of Life, because I have been told that it is gay, because that felt like a subtext. That was one of those like, hey, we've got 2 ladies as main characters and we're going to like tease them being into one another. But apparently it pays off on all that teasing and it is gay. And that sounds good, because that show seemed fine. It was very like, it had like an interesting premise, but then like wasn't doing anything interesting with the premise. And I was like, oh, weird. The church is evil? Huh. There's more to meets the eye in all this? Weird. Maybe characters lied about someone's tragic backstory and it's not tragic in the way we think it is? Huh. But then also the characters that I was like, I kind of like these characters. So I am interested in seeing more of that. So I will be giving that another try at some point. I started to a rewatch of Yu Yu Hakusho, and that intro theme is so good. Hell yeah, that intro theme is good. And then they were like, hey, we're going to dub this and release it. This song is so good, we're just going to get a Canadian singer to just do the English lyrics for it. And it's the same song with just a different singer, because we know it's the 90s and we can't have this song as original. We just can't do it. But we do know that this song kicks fucking ass. So our compromise is that we were just going to do a different version of it. A slightly different version of it. Supposedly there's video out there, I've never seen it, of the 2 different singers, the Japanese and the English language singer of that song, singing it together. And I have never seen said footage, but apparently they did some shows in Los Angeles together. And that is cool as hell. That sounds very cool. But yeah, I got to prep. Speaking of anime, next Wednesday, so a week from yesterday, will be Pat Bear's Anime Club. Me looking at the end of the spring season and then previewing the summer season. Now you're saying to yourself, Pat, the summer season is starting. There's a couple shows that are coming out. And yes, literally at this time next week, there will be a couple. Hey, Puppet Jared just rated. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to the old Build With Baer. Thanks for coming in. Thank you very much for being here. If you're new to the stream, I'm Pat Bear. I build model kits. Today, at the start of the stream, I built this Kirby kit. Check it out. We'll go back to the overhead. You can see I built Kirby. This is a Kirby kit. Yes. Welcome, Raiders of Jared. Happy you could be here. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Demon. But yeah, we built Kirby. Look, it's goddamn Kirby. Also, folks that come in on this raid, it's my birthday. I'm 42 years old, and I'm streaming on my birthday because it's also a Thursday, and I build model kits on Thursdays. So yes, so I did this Kirby. Now we're working on the Kenbu, as you can see in the bottom corner there. But yeah, it's my birthday, and we're streaming, and we're just talking about anime. There's a new anime season starting up. When is the first show? In 7 days from now. Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2 comes out. It feels like Rent-A-Girlfriend wasn't that long ago. I know that's a big hit. I didn't like that anime. So I don't have to worry that in 7 days and 14 hours, we got a new show starting. But in 8 days and 10 hours, Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry is coming out. And that's a slice of life comedy series about young girls that want to get into stand-up comedy. And that's my shit. That is unbelievably my shit. Like, oh, thank you for the follow, Crafty Joker. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you here, you being here. But yeah, those that know me know that I have done comedy for like my entire adult life. And also, one of my favorite subgenres of anime is girls doing things, like slice of life shows about girls that like have an interest. Like, it could be anything from camping to fishing to tabletop games. I like those animes where girls get into a thing and are really into it. And so the idea that there is an anime called Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry, about girls that are going to a high school in Osaka, in Nanba, which is like Osaka is like Japan's like. They just decided at one point that Osakans love comedy more than anyone else in Japan. And there's a lot of entertainment in Osaka that is stand-up and manza, which is two-person comedy. It's like, they're basically like, we're very proud of the fact that this is where fucking comedy happens. So the idea that there is an anime about girls going to a school and like getting really into comedy, I'm so psyched about it. It feels like we just had an anime about that. So I'm very excited that there's another one. But that's coming out in like a week and some change. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, we got the summer season happening here. So that's good. Yeah, so we built Kirby. Kirby's just going to hang out over here. Watch us build. We'll put Kirby there. We're working on the Kenbu. What was the name of that anime with a group of girls doing the traditional Japanese stand-up? Yes! Oh, it was called Opening Night. Something Opening Night. I liked it. Opening Night anime. But yes, that is the anime about. No, that's not going to help. Opening Night is not going to help us here. I guess if I look for Manza anime. Anime. Let's see if that turns up. Nope, that's not going to be it here. The 9 anime based on manhwa. Nope, that's not what I want. Anyway, it's just going to give me manga, not manza. It ended with Opening Night. That was the name of the anime. It was good. It was on Funimation. It was an original anime about traditional Japanese stand-up duos. Basically, we don't have an equivalent here in America other than like old stuff like Laurel and Hardy. The person who was like imagining situations and the person who was telling them like, no, what? And it's fast paced. Manza is the traditional Japanese stand up routine, a duo act. Um, the Chishikaru opening night. One of the closest things we have is the Sklar brothers. The Sklar brothers are often two peas in a pod. They don't contradict one another, but occasionally they do. But that's the closest thing we really have to Manza in America. Yeah, that was like weird because that show was co-produced by a talent agency that owns comedy theaters in Osaka, and it was like half anime about girls being into a subject and half like way for them to shoehorn some of their acts into the show as like hero characters, like hero guest characters. It was a weird production. And then they eventually did a manga based on that anime. It was weird. But anyway, that's just like a thing. I really like the traditional. I really dig anime where it's girls who are into a thing, or like Super Cub, girls that are just into like weird motorcycle moped hybrids, but they're really into them. Yes, yeah, and they're different. They're different stand-up sets. And like when you talk to when you talk to some anime or like Manza actors also do improv, but their version of improv is like really short formy and like very like, oh, I have jokes that I use for this. You're going to set me with situations where I can say my one-liners, and I have like a dozen one-liners, and I'll add new one-liners and take one away, and we'll like improvise our way into letting me say those funny lines. It's very different from even, like, it's like occasionally people have go-tos and whose line, but they don't have like a bunch of jokes they always say because they know it'll work as much. Some do, but not everybody. I'm not going to talk about comedy anymore, and especially Japanese comedy. I'm not going to do that anymore tonight. I'm sure I'll do it another time. This is B. We need B28. We're working on the arm. We're going to do the right arm, but we can do some of these parts we can do twice, which is fun. But not all of them. But some of these parts we can just do try. Before we get too far back into model kits, I am going to take just a quick pause for the cause. I'm not going to do a full pause for the cause because we do have guests. Yep. That is very true. I am a comedy nerd in general, which also obviously includes stand-up, and a model kit nerd. Yeah. I'm going to do this quickly because we're going to get back into model kit building very soon. But I did want to just take a quick moment here to, one, thank you all for being here. And then I'm going to promote myself. Because as I said, it is my birthday, but also I do model kit building on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And also on Wednesdays, I play video games or do talk shows things or do something else. I do something that's not model kit building on Wednesday. So please give a follow if you haven't already and hang out on another stream. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and if you're a tier 2, the blue emote. Those are my emotes. Let the people know. We are currently at 45 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. That's our goal. Once we hit 50, I'm not going to be like, and now the goal is 55. We're not doing that. But the goal is 50. Becoming a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do. If you have your Amazon Prime token, because you link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it on me, or you use Cash Money. If you want to gift somebody a sub in the community, you could do that. That's another easy way to support. You can do it anonymously, or you can do it and get credit. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for chatting. But yeah, becoming a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do. There are other ways to support me, and I'll list those pretty quickly. I got a Patreon. You can join me over at patreon.com/PatBear. I got a YouTube. You could join my YouTube channel. We'll get back to building real soon, but I did want to just really quickly do that. And we're also going to talk about some anime that I watched this week because that's what we're planning on doing. I got a YouTube. You can check out my YouTube. I do have an Amazon wish list. If you were like, Pat, I didn't get you anything for your birthday. I did see that somebody bought me something today, which is fun. Got an Amazon wish list. Got different things on there. You can take a look on the old wish list, see if there's something you want to pick up there. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, some equipment, things that are like priced reasonably, and things that are like, Pat, why do you have a $109 model kit on that list? I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to spend $109 for me to build the Gundam Heavy Arms Endless Waltz Engel unit that is just the most weapons possible on a model kit. I just put it there. I don't know. If no one buys it, that's also okay. It's there to see. But yeah, I got my wish list. But yeah, you know, obviously subscribing to my YouTube is free if that's something you want to do. Everything I make money-wise, I don't do any soldering. I don't have the equipment here to do that. I don't also do any painting. I do marker work, but I don't do any painting just because my current setup, I'm not super scared of paint, but I'm definitely scared of airbrushing and fucking up. But also I just don't have the right gear, and I'm not in the right setup for that. I have soldered before, but not on stream. That's not part of my thing. I don't do electronics repair. I'm not British. There are people who are not British that do it, but it feels like most of YouTube, as far as repairing electronics, are British friends. Oh, yeah, nice. And all right, let's get back into we're going to talk about some anime here. But yeah, consider buying some of my wish list if you want to buy me a birthday gift. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but if you wanted to, you could. I'm not gonna go through like the play-by-play of every little detail when it comes to the last episodes of these three shows. But each of these shows, I'm Quitting Heroing, which is on High Dive, RPG Real Estate, which is on Crunchyroll, and Skeleton Knight in Another World, which is on Crunchyroll. All three of these shows had their final episodes. They're 12s of 12s. All happened this week. So I'm going to give you just a basic, like, brief overview of the series and, like, if I recommend it or, you know, any caveats I have about it, about recommending it to anybody. I'll just kind of give you the overview of these. I'm Quitting Heroing is about Leo. He has quelled the Demon Lord army, pushed them back, defeated Demon Lord and all of her 4 generals. And he did it by himself. So even though he's the hero of humanity, the king is like, hey, that's terrifying. You shouldn't have been able to do that. What happens when you want to turn on us? So could you leave? Which, you know, ungrateful much. But anyway, they do basically banish him. So he's like, okay, I'm going to join the Demon Lord army because if humanity doesn't want me, I'll just, you know, shack up with a Demon Lord. There's already one other human or half human that has sided with them. So I'll just go and do that. And it basically, the series is him helping out the demons. But there's a lot more going on. This show is also an isekai. Kind of. Because Leo is 3,000 years old and is an artificial human that was created to defend humanity. And he has outlived basically every job that he was ever given and is still around doing his thing, trying his best. And it's mostly a character study, which I was very surprised about. I had not been reading the manga when it started, and I've had since read the manga. I think it ends pretty strongly. He is Lord Crescent. Unfortunately, he is not a dragon. He is an artificially created human with the powers of a demon. But I know, no, it's not. It's not that. Um, and good characterization. I think this is a perfectly okay anime. If you have High Dive and you are looking for reasons to use your High Dive account, this will be a great series to watch. I don't know if it would work if you don't have. I wouldn't get High Dive just for this, but there's a good chance you're getting High Dive next month anyway because you want to watch Made in Abyss, and that's on High Dive. And so far, it has not been announced that it's also on Crunchyroll. I believe it is just going to be on High Dive. So you're probably getting High Dive next month anyway. And if you're getting High Dive, this is something to watch to justify the purchase. I mean, I'm going into High Dive because, one, I wanted to watch I'm Quitting Heroing, and two, let's see, I list that. They have Call of the Night, which I have never read that manga, but it seems interesting. Doomsday with My Dog, about a post-apocalypse where the main character is the dog trying to cheer up the last human on Earth, and apparently it's heartwarming and not depressing, but we'll see. And My Isekai Life, which is a very fun premise of dude gets summoned to a world and has a lot of powers, but he has the worst skill. He's a monster tamer, and everyone thinks that that's terrible. But he figures out that if his monsters have magic, he can use magic through them. So he's actually incredibly powerful. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. So there, that's all. High Dive is getting next month. Anyway, so I'm Quitting Heroing. Also, OVA 1 came out. The digital OVA came out today, and there's going to be another one in August. And I will probably cover both of those OVAs in August, but I don't expect to do that now. But I will probably cover that in the future. I really like that about High Dive, because High Dive is the basically, if the series has an OVA or an OAD, anything that gets added to the Japanese Blu-rays, they go and do the work, and it gets subtitled, and it's out on High Dive's website. Because they're a small boutique style thing, they're also looking to sell you Blu-rays and DVDs. So they do the work of all the extras, which is awesome. So if you're there's some series you like. Oh, also, people will probably get High Dive because they've really enjoyed Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which is going to be on High Dive and won't be on Crunchyroll. So I'm sure there will be some people that will go back for that. Even if I think that show, I'm not super as into it as I used to be. I like that show, but I don't think I love that show anymore. It was fine. Let's talk about RPG real estate. This was supposed to be the cute girls doing cute things show of the season, because there wasn't many. This is a show about young ladies who work at a real estate agency. They help people look for rentals or also homes to own. Because the Demon Lord was defeated many years ago, or a few years ago, and so adventuring isn't as popular as it used to be. But also, when the Demon Lord's defeat, there are monsters who are also looking for homes. So there are people whose job it is to help them find homes. And our main character is just fresh out of the academy and is getting into the world of real estate. One of their members is named Fa. She's got a tail, which is weird because she's supposed to be a human, but she doesn't necessarily look like a human. And then also, some mysterious things happen with her. Also, a reason why I got frustrated with RPG real estate is that there is a healer and a warrior character, and they are childhood friends and are roommates. And the series spends a little bit of time making you think that maybe they're a couple or that they're going to become a couple. And spoiler alert, they don't become a couple. There's some goddamn cowardly subtext in this fucking anime, and it's not right. They get some like mileage out of jokes about them, like will they, won't they, but it doesn't pay off in anything, and that sucks. And I think that's rude and uncalled for and unnecessary. Just, come on. Anyway, this show is like mostly very cute. I will say this: the last episode features a callback of a return of a character in the background that was one of my favorite minor characters, which was a crab that has a bow tie because he's a family business crab. He's got family at home he's looking out for, and he had a bow tie. And that crab showed up again, and I was like, fuck yeah! Anyway, this series is mostly very cute and very chill. Like, people have a problem. They need a place to live. Boom. Episode 2, or by the end of the episode, they have solved that problem, and everyone is happy. That is most of the episodes. But also, there is an undercurrent of deep sadness and some fucked up shit happening. And episodes 11 and 12 are like, all of a sudden, pretty fucking dramatic, unnecessarily out of nowhere, incredibly dramatic. And it was like, what anime am I watching right now? It was very weird. So, RPG Real Estate, mostly fine. I would say if you watch it, watch an episode, see if it speaks to you, and then maybe don't, maybe let it go. It's not New Game, which is my pinnacle of work, my pinnacle of girl-focused workplace sitcom like anime. New Game is the fucking top. New Game in the second season. New Game with 2 exclamation points instead of 1 because it was the second season. Not new. They didn't call it New Game Plus, which is just a mistake. Anyway, the third series I'll talk about is Skeleton Knight in Another World. This is an anime-ass anime. This is an isekai. If you are incredibly sensitive to... thank you very much, Plamo. Welcome. We're just doing some anime chat here while we work on the Kenbu. We built a Kirby. They're very easy. It's an entry grade, but even as far as entry grades go, that's a real easy kit. But we built Kirby, and now we're working on a Kenbu. I'd already started this before, but we're resuming my Kenbu build. So Skeleton Knight in Another World. If you are sensitive to anime where they switch from digital to CGI at the drop of a hat, you might not like Skeleton Knight in Another World. I am usually pretty sensitive to it. So here's the thing. What they don't do is they don't fuck around with like, oh, that monster over there is CGI and all these other characters are digital. They have models for the main guy he's a knight. He's in full suit armor. They have models for him in like digital animation and in CGI for a lot of the effects. And so they have like models for every main character both ways, and they will cut between like close-ups of just like the digital version and then like action shots of the CGI version. And it can be jarring. And I understand that is a deal breaker for some people. I do love how refreshingly like fun the series is. It's got a kick-ass anime opening. Harold just cheered 42 bits. That's my age, saying happy birthday, Pat. Thank you very much, Harold. I gotta hit because you did cheer bits. I gotta hit the cha-ching. Thank you very much. And greetings from Kansas, Harold. I hope you're enjoying the vacation in Kansas. Didn't know you were in Kansas. You are in Kansas right now. Welcome to 42. It's the magic number. Yeah. Thank you, Sin. Also, hi, Sin. So Skeleton Knight in Another World is just like both the CGI and the digital both look good, so I'm not mad about it. I am mad that they kept a scene from the manga in the anime. So there is a content warning in the first episode. Oh, Sin, you hit that August. Okay. Um, Happy early birthday. There is a scene early in the anime that was in the manga that doesn't need to be in there. That basically is just like, hey, this world is cruel. Something awful is about to happen to this girl that doesn't mean anything to the story. But then our dude shows up and kills people instead, so bad thing doesn't happen to her. And it's like, you didn't need that scene. It could have just been that bandits were going to kill her, and then our main character showed up. You didn't need to have the assault element scene. Does not need to be in there. So that's my big issue with Skeleton Knight in Another World. You could probably just skip to episode 2. Because here's the thing. He doesn't know why he's in a world based on the video game he used to play. There's never an explanation in the anime. So we never know. So you can kind of probably just skip episode 1 and you'll be okay. Threats of violence is enough. We don't need the action violence. Yes, Sin. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh no, something awful is going to happen to this girl. Okay. Why? Why do you need this? Like, of course. It's a fantasy world. We're doing a fantasy anime right now. Of course, like, bad stuff's going to happen. Our main character is going to, like, hopefully fucking show up to save the day. But why are we doing this? What are we doing here? It's unnecessary. It does take away from the enjoyment of the series. So that's definitely knock. But the opening song is my favorite of the season. It just fucking kicks ass. And like I said, the action I think is like pretty damn solid. And it is a pretty solid show. So I would recommend it. Just be aware. They do throw a content warning up in the first episode, which is good. They have to do that. I remember they didn't do that for Goblin Slayer, and it was bad news. Let's see. Yeah, and those are all those shows are over. Of the 3, I would say if you have High Dive, don't get High Dive just for I'm Quitting Heroing, but it's good. But if you don't have have High Dive, don't worry, don't get it just for that. But again, you might want it next month, especially for Made in Abyss, a show I'm not going to watch because that's just seems to be incredibly heartbreaking, and I don't need that in my life. But I know a lot of people love that shit, crave that shit, need that shit. And then on the Crunchyroll side, RPG Real Estate, again, overall disappointing, but like a random episode I think is totally enjoyable. And Skeleton Knight in Another World, not my favorite isekai this season, but like certainly not bad. There were far worse isekai this season. I mean, it's so weird that Trapped in a Dating Sim was my favorite isekai this season because it's just really fucking good. It was surprisingly just like so goddamn good, and a manga I hadn't read, but the premise was good, and the mech fights were good. That's not saying much, but the best mech series this season was Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of Otome games is hard for mobs. Fruits Basket Prelude is in U.S. theaters this weekend. Yes. Prelude, hey, Fruits Basket has its ups and its downs, but the Prelude, you know what happens to those characters. Like, you are pretty much aware of, like, hey, this whole movie, like, we know what the end game of this movie is. So that could be pretty heartbreaking. Yes, definitely. Next season has some, like, weird returns. Like I said, I know that that Girlfriend series people like a lot. Just didn't seem to do anything for me. And then I don't know if I'm going to watch it weekly and talk about it weekly, but I'm going to watch the second season of Devil's a Part-Timer, even though none of the core people that made the first season are back. Like, the studio isn't the same, the director isn't the same, so, like, that's not a red flag, because, you know, people get busy, people change, but that is a little, it's a little worrying. Also, I think Tokyo Mew Mew is back, and I don't know if it's like a reimagining or if it's just like the Shaman King orphan thing of like, hey, we're doing it again. But Tokyo Mew Mew, I think, is back, and that's weird because that's a series I haven't thought about in a long time. And again, I need more information if this is like a reboot or like a reimagining with like, you know, or what. That's weird though that's coming back. Next season's going to be wild. Also, Overlord is coming back, and even if I think the last season of Overlord made me feel bad and made me really dislike the characters that I'm supposed to like dislike but also think are cool, I just ended up disliking them. I'm still going to watch it every week. Overlord is still must watch. Schedule my life around, make sure that I'm there to watch every moment of it, because I know I'm going to want to, because I like Overlord a lot. So I know I'm going to be checking it out. All right, let's clean this up here. And we're technically working on the right arm, but there were parts that we could do together, so we did those together. So we're going to put those aside because we're just working on the right arm, even if we are building other parts of it. And then we need, okay. Sometimes these things are messy. Like, we built this. That was from this step. And then we built this little piece. That was from this step. And now we have to build this piece, which is from these steps. So we got to get in there. And there's more stickers, which is fine. Let's see. Is there any other... What was the other thing? I've got some messages coming in here. Oh, nice. Somebody bought me a kit. Very nice. Apparently. I got to reply to that when I am done with this stream. Because I got somebody bought me something off my Amazon wishlist. I got 2 things bought off my Amazon wishlist tonight: a Lego set and a small model kit, a Pokemon kit. We're gonna build Ho-Oh in the future, and that's gonna be fun and fairly easy to do. But $10 patrons look forward to deciding which of those 2 I build when the time comes. When we're done with the Kenbu, the next thing we're building is this Hello Kitty kit, which I'll put here. The Hello Kitty Charizard 2 double pack. That's the next thing we're building, so get ready for that. That's coming your way when this kit is done, which I'm very excited about because I built the Hello Kitty RX-782 double, and that was really fun. And so I'm looking forward to putting together the other version, this version, because they're pretty simple to build. Okay, Crafty Joker. I will do that. Sure, no problem. So, I am doing a thing that's called panel lining. This is unnecessary. This is not a thing you have to do. But I have these markers. Now, I went with the Gundam markers. The Bandai makes these. And I am basically adding some fine detail by using markers to try to... kind of approach a little bit more of a like cartoony or like, I don't know, like graphic novel, like just something to make it little pop. Like cell shading maybe is a good way to describe it. Just to give a little more detail. You can see here, these pieces right here, I panel lined some of these little parts right here. And I just did it with a gray marker. That's what up there, like the white parts I hit with gray. That's what those at the top mean. And it's just to give a little detail to it, to hopefully make it sing a little bit more, a little pop a little bit. Just a splash of that. And I do what I refer to as the quick and dirty method. So for this part here, I will take my marker and I will just hit any place that there is a panel, any indent. I'm just going to hit with that marker. I'll probably actually use the gray for this, so we'll hit that even harder. But and then I'm just gonna hit it with my eraser and clean up the lines. Now I should be using for this. Even though this is an off-white, this isn't like a pure white color. I think black on this would stand out too much. It'd be too much of a contrast. So we're just kind of doing with that in the same way that we use a brown marker for our red, and for like gold, we'll hit it with black because that is just like complementary for that. Yeah, yeah. So you can see here, right? There's a lot of empty space here. I could use my X-Acto blade to scribble my own lines in there, but I don't worry about that. I don't go in for that. What I'm just trying to do is just kind of make the kit come alive a little bit, add in some detail, because I'm not going to paint this kit. Now, if I was going to hit with paint, if I was going to do some custom paint for this, or a finish, or a top coat of paint, then I wouldn't do this. There's no reason for this. But because I don't paint, and I don't have any interest in painting, and I don't have the proper setup for painting, I just like to use the markers. I didn't always, but this I got into the last couple of years, just to give it some definition. Yeah, no problem. I'm always happy to answer questions for folks that have them about model kit stuff. Always happy to share what knowledge I do have with people. I didn't always do this. I got into this, like I said, just a couple of years ago. I had been watching some other model kit builders, and they were using it, and I watched a demonstration where someone used the terms quick and dirty, which is kind of the style I do, where you're just using some people use tissue or a Q-tip. I like using the polymer eraser, and you're just then like getting up, and it's just leaving whatever is in the indents because you're not really digging in to clean up, and just giving it a little bit of definition, a little pizzazz. And it's also not expensive, and it for a kit like this, which is the high grade, which is like a lower difficulty, it just adds a lot of visual interest to it, I think. So yeah, yeah. I just have I just got these, and then it's just been like, it's high polymer eraser. Then I just sweep off whatever little stuff that comes there, instead of worrying about a Q-tip or a bunch of Q-tips or tissues or something like that. Sometimes you do want to use those, but I prefer that. Okay, and then this is going to go like this. Yeah, okay. And then there's a sticker that has to go on here, which is 6. Let's see. So yeah, the next thing is the Hello Kitty kit that came from my Amazon wish list. So when the Kenbu is done, which will be on Saturday's stream, I imagine we will finish this, because all we have left is an arm, the rest of this arm, the head, and then just like a gun, and the sword is one piece. The sword is not, there's nothing to build with the sword. So we have very little of this kit left, so we'll finish it on Saturday stream, and then we'll be back in, and then we'll start with the Hello Kitty kit, because that is the next thing to build, because it came from my Amazon wish list. Well, technically, someone sent me a gift card to USA Gundam Store with the request that I purchased this kit. So I guess that's technically not my wish list, but same difference. Okay. Use the same eraser to clean circuit boards. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Let's see. All right, and we're just going to hit this here with the brown. Some people use just a black marker for everything. I like using the different colors because I think it balances it. Some people will use black on white, and I think that's too much, so that's why I use the gray. There's also there are markers for there's like a blue marker that some people have some other colors beyond the black, brown, and gray. But I feel like those are the ones most commonly used, and those are the ones I'm more interested in using. That's just me, though. I'm sure everybody's got their own thing, their own style. All right, and then this is going to go through here. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that doesn't seem... Oh. I'm missing a piece. That's why. I was like, why doesn't this seem right? It's because I'm missing the connector. I was like, this doesn't seem like I'm doing the right thing here with this arm. Again, I'm not super familiar with this kit because I'm not familiar with the anime that it is from. So that is why I am like, wait, I don't... sometimes I'll build a model kit. Like if I build a Zaku 2, I know how a Zaku 2 is supposed to fit together. I know how a Zaku 2 is supposed to look. I've built a lot of them. I've watched a lot of them in various Gundams. But this is a series I have not watched any of. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know how this works because I'm not super familiar with the series. So I'm not sure how it's supposed to work. But once I do one arm, the other arm will be easy to put together because now I have some experience building it. Great. So that's the arm. Put that all together. Then I can build a hand. But I can just go ahead and put this on there. Yeah, there's the arm. All right. This all works. And I guess I like the boxy oddness of this. Like this hand is weird to me, right? Like it is an interesting, like this kit feels like it doesn't, but it feels like it should fold up into a cube. Like, I don't know. Like it's an interesting way that this kit is put together. I can appreciate it. Even if I'm not like super thrilled with it. And then we'll use the hands that are holding stuff because we do have a gun and a sword to put on this kit. And if given the option, I like model kits that can hold weapons. So I always pick the ones that hold. So yeah, Saturday we will continue with this. And I'll talk about probably my tabletop gaming on my RPGing that I'll do on Saturday. I'll probably talk about my trip to going out to eat tomorrow night for my birthday. And tomorrow I will probably, Saturday, the next stream on Saturday, I will probably preview Forbidden Door because the card has changed. Subject to change indeed. That card is different. So we'll probably talk about that as we get ready for the Forbidden Door. Because is that this weekend or is it next weekend? Money in the Bank. There's a pay-per-view this Sunday. It's either Money in the Bank or it's Forbidden Door. And I think it's Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door. When is that? I'm going to look it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait, when is that? When is this show? Oh, that's the 26th. Yeah, so that's this Sunday is Forbidden Door. Okay, yeah. So it's this weekend. Yeah. Good night. Thank you very much, Harold. Yeah, if I don't see you, I hope to see you soon. Yes, it is this weekend. So we'll probably run through the card down on Saturday of Forbidden Door with all its many changes. I'm going to watch it with friends in a Discord because we watch wrestling together in that Discord, and it's fun. We'll probably be watching, Rampage on Friday as well together, so tomorrow. So I'm probably going to watch that because it's nice, like-minded friends. It's nice to watch wrestling with them. So we'll probably do that. But I can also understand why people were hesitant because this card is coming together hot and then people keep getting injured. Honestly, I just want to know, I'm going to spend money to find out if it's Cesaro or not. Because if it's like an NXT guy that got released, if it's Oni Lorcan, Buff Busey or whatever his real name is, I'm gonna be disappointed. But if it's Cesaro, if Cesaro's in the Blackpool Combat Club, I'm real happy about that. So I want it to be Cesaro. It also, Johnny Gargano is scheduled to be in Chicago for a fan fest thing And he was like, "This is not related." He started saying on Wednesday. He was like, "This is not related. This has been planned for a while." But it's like, Jonathan Gresham. Oh yeah, I mean Gresham is on their list. I want it to be Cesaro because he's a technical guy that can brawl. He also has history with Eddie Kingston, so that would be interesting. That would be very interesting because yeah, he has a lot of history with Eddie. So that could be an interesting dynamic. But I don't want it to be Gargano, just because I don't think Gargano fits in Blackpool Combat Club. The BCC is also the Brooklyn Comedy Collective. So when I think BCC, I start saying Brooklyn Comedy Collective and not Blackpool Combat Club. That's a thing I have to get over. Anyway, I'm going to leave Kirby here. Kirby's going to hang out on the table for a while. That's going to do it for the stream. Thank you so much to people that came in with the raids. We had 2 raids tonight, which is lovely. You think a blind carbon copy? Yes, as you should. But thank you everybody that came in on the raid. Thank you everybody that decided to spend any time with me tonight. Thank you for those that wished me a happy birthday and those that just hung out and watched me model kit build. I appreciate you all very much. We are going to end with a raid. That is how we end every stream. I'm going to go find somebody out there doing some cool stuff and we'll share the love by checking them out. So we're going to see who is doing stuff here. Yeah, have a good night. Let's see. Who is doing stuff? Let's see here. We're gonna go raid Joe Kim. Joe Kim is playing Minecraft. Is doing some modded Minecraft. And we're gonna go raid Joe Kim. Joe Kim rules. And had to take a break from streaming for a while and is back. So we're gonna go give Joe Kim some love. So feel free to come along on this raid. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'll see you on the next one. On Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, as we wrap up the Kenbu and start the Hello Kitty Charizard 2 double pack. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great night. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Oh, and I got to hit the raid button, huh? There we go. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.